Oh dear, you can see a messy bed. Right, let's just do that. Let's do that. Look at that double angle. This is a kind of horrible look on this YouTube. Never mind. So here we go. If you are watching on YouTube, please tell me. I don't really know where the comments come up on here. Please tell me if you can hear me. Can you on YouTube? I can hear myself through the carpet, so I'm guessing that it's working. 3 streamers, 5 people streaming on YouTube now. Oh, what a moment this is for this quiz. And for myself personally, it's a huge thing for myself personally. Everybody can hear clear, I'm sure. So there we go. Let's get started. We're 7 minutes late now. So wherever in the world you're watching and whatever you're watching on, welcome all to this another lockdown quiz. Obviously, I've not been that committed, and I apologize for that. Oh, look, there's even messages coming up on the sidebar of the chat. So live chat here, you know, get involved, but I'll only read out certain stuff. Anyway, let's just do a recap. So all you need for this quiz is a piece of scrap paper, a pen, write down your answer. If you are prepared to, remember your answers, then that's fine as well. There are no prizes. We don't judge one another here. We're just here for the fun of the quiz. So quick recap of how it works. So we've got 4 rounds. The first round we'll do the news this week. Then we've got sort of a couples round, just because I wanted to squeeze 10 points out of only 5 questions. So you're going to have to give 2 answers for the second round. So 1 point for each answer, 2 points each question. And then we've just got a couple of rounds of general knowledge, because I think everybody's favourite quiz rounds is general knowledge, really. So here we go then. Question 1 of this round 1 of yet another lockdown quiz. It's the news this week. It's the current affairs round. And what a way to start. Question number 1. What was the name of gardener Monty Don's dog that passed away last weekend? There's a lot more cheerful questions than that. There's some that are less cheerful than that question as well, though. So question number 1. What was the name of gardener Monty Don's dog that passed away last weekend? I just need the first name. There we go. I'm on the sparkling water this week. No alcohol. I'm going alcohol-free for the next month. Possibly. Probably. Maybe. Who knows? So question number 2. Question number 2 of the first round. Which rapper did the American charity No Kid Hungry reject a $200,000 donation from last week? They felt that he did not fit in with their values. So which rapper did the American charity No Kid Hungry reject a $200,000 donation from last week? They felt that he did not fit in with their values. There's quite a lot of glare coming off these glasses. Maybe I'll take them off. Maybe I'll lower them. I see them. I can see without them. There's a lot. Too many screens. I've got 3 screens here. Wow. 2020. Question number 3. The Eurovision Song Contest should have taken place on Saturday night, but was obviously cancelled because of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. But in which country was it set to be held this year? So the Eurovision Song Contest should have taken place on Saturday night, but was obviously cancelled because of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. In which country was it set to be held this year? So we will probably have to change the format slightly this week. We may not be able to go to Mark, which I know will be a disappointment for all of us. But maybe that's something I'll work on in the week to work out how we can properly see him again in the future. Question number 4. Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers was arrested at a rally in London on Saturday. But what were the protesters protesting against? So Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers was arrested at a rally in London on Saturday. But what were the protesters protesting against? And as always, I'm coming to you live from the box room of my mother's house. The pandemics ongoing. The economy's in free fall, and the smell in this room is starting to become unbearable. But nevertheless, you do not have to be burdened by that. Question number 5. What device was Michigan priest Father Tim Pelk? Oh, sorry, no, I've misread that. What device has Michigan priest Father Tim Pelk been utilizing to allow him to bless his parishioners from a safe distance during the pandemic? Pictures of him doing this went viral this week. So what device has Michigan priest Father Tim Pelk been utilizing to allow him to bless his parishioners from a safe distance during the pandemic? Pictures of him doing this or using this went viral this week. This new angle that I've set the phone at makes my hair look far thicker than it is, and I'm greatly enjoying it. Question number 6. The oldest woman in Spain became the oldest person to officially beat coronavirus this week. But how old is she? 109, 111, or 113? I'm trying to give equal eye contact to both Instagram and YouTube. It's not working that well. So question number 6 again was the oldest woman in Spain became the oldest person to officially beat coronavirus this week. But how old is she? 109, 111, or 113? Question number 7. And it's another coronavirus question. I'm sorry about that. But it is dominating the news somewhat. So what symptoms did the government add to its list of things that people should self-isolate for yesterday? So yesterday, what symptoms did the government add to its list of things that people should self-isolate for? What symptoms did the government add to its list of things that people should self-isolate for? That was question number 7. It's a far nicer light on the Instagram stream than it is on the YouTube one. Question number 8. This is a bit of a stretch to make this a question about this week, but never mind. There has been further controversy surrounding the construction of the HS2 railway line this week, but which location is linked to London by the HS1 line? So there has been further controversy surrounding the construction of the HS2 railway line this week, but which location is linked to London by the HS1 line? So the high-speed 1 line, which location is linked to London by that line? The railway line. That was question number 8 of this, the first round. Question number 9. And this is a tough one. But if you get close, you can give yourself the points. But actually, you can give yourself your points for anything. You're marking yourselves. You do what you want with your points and things, because ultimately, you're not going to gain anything from it prize-wise. We're just here for the warm glow and the community spirit of the quiz. So here we go. Question number 9. It's a tough one. But if you get it right, you can really give yourself a pat on the back. So what is the name of the drug that Donald Trump announced he has been taking to try and ward off the coronavirus? So what is the name of the drug that Donald Trump announced he has been taking to try and ward off the coronavirus? So what is the name of the drug that Donald Trump announced he has been taking to try and ward off the coronavirus? Clem, nice to hear that you think I look more famous on YouTube. I think everybody looks more famous through YouTube, but that might be a personal thing. And in what aspect do I look famous, a good or a bad way? Because you can look famous in a bad way. Question number 10. Another tough one. Which author, writer of The Good Omens and American Gods, has been forced to apologise after it emerged that he travelled 11,000 miles from his home in New Zealand to a second home on the Isle of Skye, contravening the Scottish lockdown rules? So which author, writer of The Good Omens and American Gods, has been forced to apologise after it emerged that he travelled 11,000 miles from his home in New Zealand to a second home on the Isle of Skye? contravening the Scottish lockdown rules. And I've said that the second time quite badly. So anybody want any of those questions repeating? While you put in the thing, if you do, I will just say big TY to all my fans watching live from around the world on this new format. You were welcome. Glad to have you. Stay safe all. Mwah. Classic. Okay. Question number two again of this, the first round was, which rapper did the American charity No Kid Hungry reject a $200,000 donation from last week? Do you know what? People have put quite a lot of questions in, so we'll just quickly go through all the questions for the first round again. So question number one was, what was the name of gardener Monty Don's dog that passed away last weekend? Question number two, which rapper did the American charity No Kid Hungry reject a $200,000 donation from last week? Question number three was, the Eurovision Song Contest should have taken place on Saturday, but it was cancelled, obviously. In which country was the Eurovision Song Contest supposed to be held in this year? Question number four is, Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers was arrested at a rally in London on Saturday, but what were the protesters protesting against? Number five was, what device has Michigan priest Father Tim Pelk been utilising to allow him to bless his parishioners from a safe distance during the pandemic? Pictures of him doing this went viral this week. The oldest woman in Spain became the oldest person to officially beat coronavirus this week, but how old is she? 109, 111, or 113? Question number seven is, what symptoms did the government add to its list of things that people should self-isolate for yesterday? And question number eight was, there has been further controversy surrounding the construction of the HS2 railway line this week, but which location is linked to London by the HS1 line, so the high-speed 1 line? Question number nine, the toughest question of the round. What is the name of the drug that Donald Trump announced he's been taking to try and ward off the coronavirus? And question number 10, which author, writer of The Good Omens and American Gods, has been forced to apologise after it emerged that he's travelled 11,000 miles from his home in New Zealand to a second home on the Isle of Skye, contravening the Scottish lockdown rules? So there we go. That was all the questions to round one again. Okay. So that's all right. I think we'll move on to round two, and then we'll do the answers to round one and round two at the end of this round. So as I said, this is a round that I've basically got 5 questions for. There's still 10 marks because you need 2 answers for each answer. But to be honest, 3 of them are couples. So, well, not couples, but it'll become apparent halfway through this. So here we go. Let's just give it a go. There's 2 points on offer for each answer. No, right. There's 2 points on offer for each question, but there's 1 point for each answer. So you need two people or 2 things for each question. So here we go. Round number 2, question number 1. Let's just get into it. Which 2 boxers fought in the Thriller in Manila in the Philippines in 1975? So which 2 boxers fought in the Thriller in Manila in the Philippines in 1975? Which 2 heavyweight boxers fought in the Thriller in Manila in the Philippines in 1975? Wow, the numbers have dropped of people that were viewing this quiz from the first week. We were up in the heady 90s, and now we're very much in the doldrums of the 20s. And to be honest, we're slipping from the 20s into the teenies. But I've watched some other quizzes, right? And this is a very competitive market now. And this is still the best quiz around, I'm telling you. Some of the quizzes I've played have been awful. And, you know, I've got no problem saying that. I won't name names, but I've got no problem saying that some people have been awful quiz masters with awful questions. And as always, these questions have all come from my own head. That's a guarantee. Question number 2 of this, the second round. Which 2 musicians were part of a songwriting duo, sometimes known as the Glimmer Twins? They primarily wrote for the band that they were both part of, and their first self-written single, Tell Me, open brackets, You're Coming Back, close brackets, was released in 1964. So which two musicians were part of a songwriting duo sometimes known as the Glimmer Twins? They primarily wrote for the band that they were both part of, and their first self-written single, Tell Me, open brackets, You Are Coming Back, close brackets, was released in 1964. That was the second question of this, the second round. Obviously, there's 2 points on offer for each question, but ultimately the points mean nothing. You're just playing against yourselves, testing yourself, and wasting time, really. Yeah. Question number 3. Which couple starred alongside one another in the film Cleopatra? They divorced in 1974 before remarrying a year later and then divorcing again a year after that. So which couple starred alongside one another in the film Cleopatra? They divorced in 1974 before remarrying a year later and then divorcing again a year after that. And I'm sorry, these last 3 questions have been very 50-odd centric. If you're 50-odd, you've got a good chance on those 3 questions, I'd say. So question number 4. Question number 4. It's an easy one. What are the 2 main ingredients of the dish sagaloo? What are the 2 main ingredients of the dish sagaloo? And question number 5. Question number 5. Which 2 countries are separated by the longest international border in the world? So which 2 countries are separated by the longest international border in the world? Which 2 countries are separated by the longest international border in the world? So let's just do those questions again. So question number 1 was which 2 boxers fought in the Thrilla in Manila in the Philippines in 1975? Question number 2 was which 2 musicians were part of a songwriting duo sometimes known as the Glimmer Twins? They primarily wrote for the band that they were both part of, and their first self-written single, Tell Me, open brackets, You're Coming Back, close brackets, was released in 1964. Question number 3 is which couple starred alongside one another in the film Cleopatra? They divorced in 1974 before remarrying a year later and then divorcing again a year after that. Question number 4 is what are the 2 main ingredients of the dish sagaloo? And question number 5 was which 2 countries are separated by the longest international border in the world? And to be honest, if you've got one of those answers, you've got a good chance of getting the other answer. So, yeah. So I'll just let you get your answers together. And in the meantime, I can say to you, obviously, if you are missing the Garibaldi and the food, from Thursday, you'll be able to order takeaway. So if you go to the Garibaldi Instagram page, if you go to the Garibaldi Facebook, you'll find the links there. You can order now. You can pre-order now for whenever you want, and then you pick it up or get it delivered. So there you go. I've not got anything else to add to that. But that does make me officially an influencer. So hashtag ad. All right. That was an advert. You were warned it was an advert, but I was not paid to promote it yet. But I think I read it quite well, the advert. So if anybody has anything else that they would like me to advertise, I will do it for money. And depending on what it is, I would do a similar advert for another pub for about a tenner. I would advertise cigarettes for 50 quid. And despite the fact that I've described myself on several occasions as an environmentalist, including in a CV, I would advertise fossil fuels for 100 quid. So there we go. Let's just go through the answers to the first 2 rounds. Question number 1 of the first round. The name of Gardner Monty Don's dog was Nigel. Rest in peace, Nigel. And I don't think it was coronavirus related. Question number 2 is the rapper that the American charity No Kid Hungry rejected a $200,000 donation from last week was 6ix9ine or Tekashi 6ix9ine. Question number 3 was that's the 3rd time he's been an answer in this quiz. And I'm sorry about that, but again, there was not much news this week. Question number 3, the Eurovision Song Contest should have taken place in Holland or the Netherlands. I think there's a difference, but I don't know what it is or really care. Oh, pardon me. Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers was arrested at a rally protesting against the lockdown. He was protesting against the lockdown. You can have half a point for 5G because I think he was there protesting about 5G in particular. But the protest as a whole was against the lockdown. The device that Michigan priest Father Tim Pelt utilized to allow him to bless his parishioners from a safe distance during the pandemic was a water pistol. So he's been spraying people with a water pistol from a distance. The oldest woman in Spain that's become the oldest person to beat coronavirus is 113. The symptoms the government has added to its list of things that people should self-isolate for is a loss of taste and smell. There has been further controversy around that. The HS1 railway line links London with the Channel Tunnel or Folkestone. You can have Folkestone. Question number 9. So it's the toughest question of the round, possibly the quiz. Is the name of the drug that Donald Trump has announced he's been taking to try and ward off coronavirus is hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine. If you put something like that, give yourself the point. And do not take it, apparently. Apparently it's very dangerous to take it for a lot of people, so don't take it without speaking to someone. There we go. And question number 10, the author has had to apologise after he travelled 11,000 miles from his home in New Zealand to a second home on the Isle of Skye, is Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman. Okay, so that was the first round. And the second round, so obviously you can have 2 points for each question if you get them right, 1 point for each answer. So question number 1, the 2 boxers that fought in the Thriller in Manila in the Philippines in 1975 were Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. The 2 musicians that were part of a songwriting duo, sometimes known as the Glimmer Twins, were Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. The couples that starred alongside one another in the film Cleopatra and then divorced. They divorced in 1974, remarried in 1975, and divorced again in 1976 was Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. The 2 main ingredients in sagaloo were spinach and potato. I can't believe I've given 2 points away for that, but I have. And question number 5, the 2 countries separated by the longest international border in the world are the United States and Canada. So 1 point for each answer on that, 2 points for each question. And does anybody have any questions before we fly into the third round? I've hit round 2 again there. The third round, obviously, we would normally go to Mark at this point, but I think we're going to struggle to do that with YouTube. But we'll see if we can sort something out for next week. So, yeah, without further ado, let's fly into the first of 2 general knowledge rounds. And you know what? Because we're 2 questions short of a quiz, if I take 1 question off this round, then we can have 2 rounds of 9 and it'll better balance it. So cut that question and paste it in there. Lovely. Okay, so we've got 9 questions. Oh yeah, let us know what you've got. Let me know what you've got in the live feed. Either comment section will do. I can see it both. I think when you've got 3 screens and a microphone, there's a microphone on here, not mine, but it is a microphone. It does count as a nerve center. I think this is officially a nerve center, without a doubt. So there are plenty of wires and stuff. We're in the nerve center. So question, oh dear, 0 out of 20. Jesus, that is poor. Yeah, dear, oh dear. 9 out of 20, not bad. It's a tough quiz, and to be honest, I've played a lot of easy quizzes, and you don't get a thrill from an easy question. If you got sagaloo, there's not much feel to that. But if you've got hydroxychloroquine or whatever it is, what a thrill you would have got if you'd got that right. So anyway, everybody, eyes down, pens at the ready, or if you're saving your answers in your head, whatever. Or you might be saving them on a phone now because you could be watching live on a 50-inch screen on YouTube. If you felt that way. 16 for the NN Social out of 20. That's big. That's huge for this sort of quiz. Anyway, let's see what happens now. And I think there's a few easy questions in this one this week and a few tougher ones. Oh no, the battery's running low on the laptop. Right, one moment. Right, that's the plug. Let's find. Can I unplug? Will anything cut out if I unplug either of these? Has anything cut out? No. Okay, right. And we're on charge. Don't worry, everyone. Oh my God.